Hello, folks. I'm just checking out who's joining here. Hello, people, as you join. Welcome to our webinar today with the incredible Nina Israel, the only person who can make finance so much fun that you're going to learn so much in this webinar. We are really excited to have you here. And I'm going to work through a couple of my slides first before I hand it over to Nina. So welcome everyone, and tell us in the chat. This is so that we know that the chat is working. Tell us where you are and what do you do in your business. We want to hear from you. We always want to see whereabouts everybody is in the world. It's always super cool to see where people are tuning in from. So drop into the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. Vermont. Hi, S. Colby. Yoga teacher, that's cool. Everybody just drop in there and we'll come back to it. I will work through a little bit of housekeeping. So throughout, you can drop your questions in the chat as Nina works through her slides. It's going to be an interactive presentation. I'll keep an eye on the chat to make sure we don't miss any questions. So yeah, definitely drop things in there. We will have discounts. I'm not sure why I put discount links and downloads there. There might be some downloads later, but I'm going to
There'll be
send you out links.
goodies. There'll be
There
goodies.
will be, and I'm going to send out links via email later because you've got an offer as well, right, Nina?
I have
And
goodies.
yes, and there will be a replay email. So if anyone needs to hop off, this entire thing, all the links and everything we share will come out probably in the next couple of hours as soon as I get time to download it and link it to Vimeo. So hi, Darlene. Darlene's in Connecticut. CT, is that Connecticut? This is my British/Canadian coming in. Owner of a yoga and wellness company. Yes, Connecticut. See, I got it. Angela from Missouri, yoga instructor. Oh, hi, Petra in Saskatchewan, a fellow Canadian. It's good to have you all here. So before we get started, before I give everything over to Nina, for anyone who's new to OfferingTree today, you will get a link, a discount link to try out a free trial if you want. But OfferingTree is a all-in-one software company for wellness professionals. And when we say all-in-one, we actually mean everything. So it's your website, your scheduling, your payment processing, email marketing that will blow your mind. Like you can automate. We've added so many features in the last year to this software to make the email marketing better. So if you've got a tech stack that's like, oh, I pay this platform for my emails, I have my on-demand library hosted here, I have to pay this for my website, we're the people you want to come to. It's all for a great price, great service, fantastic support. And then we work with brilliant people like Nina to bring you these educational webinars at least once a month. And this webinar is going to be really good because I have worked with Nina before and we're going to learn a lot. So I'm going to stop my share here and I'm going to hand over to you, Nina. Take it away.
All right. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. And for those of you that don't know me, just so you know, when it comes to technical stuff, it's never a question of if, it is always simply a question of when it will happen. Um, okay, so I am going to do this. Can you see the screen?
Looks great.
Awesome. Is everybody looking at a coin purse that kind of it reminds me, perhaps someone else, of their grandmother?
I see that. Yep.
Totally. Totally. So, welcome to the Profit First method. This is a game-changing method. I'm so glad you're here. So, let's get started because the goal of this webinar is, will it work? Boom! We're turning it into cash, baby. Let's turn it into cash. So, first thing, I just want to thank OfferingTree for giving me this opportunity to share this information with you. Sinead knows I am so passionate about helping studio owners, wellness practitioners, anyone within our industry just wrap their arms around their money. It is my jam, because I think that money can be very scary, money can be very intimidating, and it doesn't have to be. Anyone who knows me knows I will always say money does not have to be hard, okay? And anyone who is making money hard for you is trying to make money off of you. So here we go. Are we ready to begin? This is what everyone thinks running a yoga studio looks like, right? Everybody's smiling, it's very peaceful. We all just take a deep breath. When everyone here knows this is what running a yoga studio really looks like. So, my question for everyone here today is, what is the biggest challenge in your business right now? Can you throw that in the chat? And Sinead, can you read? Because I cannot see the chat to save my life.
Yep. So everyone will let us know in the chat, what is the biggest challenge in your business? My biggest challenge is for my yoga business is consistency, trying to stay focused on it with all the tasks that need doing. Avi is saying finding new clients. Hi, Avi. Petra, creating passive income. That's a good one. Darlene, keeping and expanding my client base. Yes.
Okay. These are good. Understanding the whole site and registration issues. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And then I see marketing and setting up an online course. I found the chat. Sorry, jumping in.
Cool.
So here's the thing. We are discussing none of these today. So, however, now we have a wonderful list for future webinars that we can address these issues, right? So, okay, this is good stuff. They're not buying. Oh my God, I could have a zillion conversations here, but we are going to move on. And this is what we will be discussing today. So in the next 45 minutes, my goal is to help you understand what is Profit First, basically how it works, how do we implement it, and what are some of the pros and cons when you're looking at setting it up for you. All right, I'm just moving the chat because now I'm getting distracted by it. So, how do we start? Let's just say that Profit First is a cash management system, okay? And basically it forces you to put profit first and prioritize it, okay? Its goal is to help you create wealth. And the way we're going to define wealth is basically you have enough money to do what you want. Your business is a sustainable business. So when it comes to cash management, I think we've all heard the expression cash is king. And I'm going to say, no, cash management is king. Because if you don't have a system to manage the cash in your business, it's not really going to matter how much cash you have. You're never going to do as well as you possibly can. So, quick question for everyone in the chat. Do you currently have a system in place to manage your cash? Just really quick, yes or no? No. I hear you. Yeah. And here's the thing. Most business owners do not, okay? If we look at statistics, basically 4 out of every 5 businesses are operating pretty much from deposit to deposit. Okay, less than 20% have that extra cash just sitting in the bank. So on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say, with 10 being you're very comfortable with the cash that you have in your bank and 1 being I'm managing deposit to deposit, if you feel comfortable, could you share where you are on that scale? 5, right in the middle. Thank you, Petra. Somewhere in between. Awesome. Amy, nice. Nice. Okay. Well, even if you are a 10, I'm going to take you to a 12, to a 15. All right. So basically, Profit First 101. Has anyone heard of Profit First, read the book, anything? Throw that in the chat, please. I told you it's going to be interactive, man. Okay. So, as we said, it is a cash management system. Okay. You can apply it for your business and personal. And its goal is to set you up to be profitable immediately. And when I say a cash management system, basically what I'm saying is that every dollar in your business has a purpose, has a job, okay? And the way Profit First works is it is designed off of the old, it's like the Dave Ramsey, like the envelope system. And this goes back to when you would have multiple envelopes. And this is my envelope for groceries. This is my envelope for clothing. This is my envelope for entertainment. And you would take your money and put your money in to each one of these envelopes and sort of allocate it right from the get-go. And as you went to buy groceries, you would go to the grocery envelope. And when that envelope was empty, it was like, oops, either you're taking it from another envelope or that's it. You ain't buying any more groceries. Okay. So Profit First does the same thing for your business and your personal life, but those envelopes become bank accounts. Okay. So what's really cool is, as the money's coming into your business, its job. Its job. Its job before you even earn that money. So now you don't even have to think about it. You can now focus on the stuff you need to focus on in your business. Okay? Because I will tell you right now, and I know this is going to sound obvious, but if you run out of cash in your business, you will be out of business. But what I will add to that is that running out of cash in your business is not going to cause you to go out of business. It's basically the result of something else that happened. Okay? So we don't want to run out of cash. This is why we're here. So now when it comes to Profit First, there's a couple of things that the method believes in. The primacy effect. And this basically says that if something is placed in the forefront of our brain, we are constantly going to think of it first, right? And what happens is, in typical accounting, we are told revenue less expenses equals profit, right? Well, we're going to flip that. We are going to say revenue less profit leaves over what we need for expenses. So by putting profit first and grabbing that money first, that is the primacy effect. It is always going to be at the forefront of our brain. It is always going to be our priority. Okay. The second belief is Parkinson's law. And Parkinson's law basically says the more you have, the more you use. What? I have a half an hour to get that done. Guess what? It just took me a half an hour. Oh, I have 15 minutes to get that done. Oh, look what I got done in 15 minutes, right? Time and money. Always, if you've got $10 to spend, you're going to spend $10. Okay. It's just the way a lot of people work. So the example that they use in the book, brilliant, is the tube of toothpaste. Picture when you first open that tube of toothpaste. Sinead, what's that look like when you first open that tube of toothpaste? Man, aren't you icing a cake on your toothbrush? You are like, ooh, right? Now, picture when you get down to the end of that tube, right? What are you doing? I don't know about you, but I'm sticking my toothbrush in, I'm digging. I'm moving that thing over the counter. I am getting every last bit of toothpaste out of that tube. That's Parkinson's law, right? And that's how Profit First basically works. It says, I'm only going to give you the money that you are allowed to spend. Okay, so some of the principles, right? Basically, what they're saying is when you have to work within a certain parameter, you're going to get scrappy, right? You're going to figure out a way to make it work, right? It's only giving you enough money, right? You've already taken out your profit, so you can't spend it. Right? So you're only going to spend what you can afford to spend. By removing that money right from the get-go, you're not even tempted to spend it. And the system creates the habit, the routine, where you are looking at your cash, you've got your system, you're moving it to the other bank accounts, right? And so you're paying attention and you've got this new habit. And I will tell you something, for anyone that feels financially anxious, the answer to that one is financial control. Okay? Because as soon as you have financial control, any anxiety, gone. Trust me, seen it, lived it. Okay? So great, Nina, how do we work? What are the envelopes? What are the bank accounts? Okay? Basically, the book recommends 5 different bank accounts. Okay? And the way that it would work is that you would set up these 5 bank accounts. All your money comes in to what is called the income account. So all deposits, anytime you earn money, it is in the income account. And then you are going to allocate the money in that account to the 4 other accounts. We are going to get into how do you know how to allocate, how much to allocate. We're going to cover that. Okay. But right now, so the 4 accounts, one is profit. And profit is basically what you get for taking the chance, putting your skin in the game, and opening your business. That's profit. Owner's pay. Owner's pay would be equivalent to, let's say, your salary for managing your business. Okay. Is it your salary for teaching in your business? Ideally, no. But some people do say my owner's pay includes me teaching. One account is a tax account. For those of us in the US, if you have like a nervous breakdown April 14th because you know you owe taxes April 15th, this account will completely erase any sort of stress when it comes to paying taxes, estimated taxes, or filing your taxes. And then the 4th account is the operating expenses. And that is very lovingly nicknamed OPEX. And this is basically this is the money you have in order to run your business and pay your expenses. Now, some additional accounts, depending on, because this can be, and it is highly encouraged to completely personalize this system so it works for you. So some of my studios, some of my clients, we might have a payroll account and they put aside the money for payroll. Teacher training and retreats, it is awesome because you set up those accounts because a lot of times those payments are coming in on payment plans sporadically, month 1, month 4. So this allows you to put that money aside so when those expenses come due, you have the money sitting there. And then for some of my other studios, maybe Pilates studios, but if you have a lot of equipment, then we suggest having an equipment account so that you're covered for repairs, replacement, anything like that. So at this point, I'm going to pause for a sec and see if we have any questions just about the accounts, anything we've covered up till now. Did I already lose everybody? I think I already lost everybody.
I don't see any questions coming through.
So either I'm the best teacher or everybody is like gone.
Oh, Darlene, so you are suggesting actually opening up separate business accounts for each category.
I am. And we are going to get into this. But this is designing the system that works for you. Is it free to open up additional accounts? Great question. Yes, depending on where you go. So a lot of times for my people who have let's say brick and mortar banks. So let's say in the US, they're bigger banks. In Canada, they would be like the Scotia Bank and every Royal Bank. In the US, we've got Wells Fargo, Chase, those bigger banks. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll have people open up additional accounts, not within those brick and mortars. We'll keep an account in the brick and mortar because it's nice to have a bank you can walk into for a number of reasons. But there are banks that allow you to open up additional accounts because the thing is we don't want to get hit with fees because a lot of times they charge fees, and we don't want to get hit with minimum balances. Because I've had that with a studio where Chase was requiring a $1,000 minimum balance, otherwise they're charging her fees. You're not locking up $4,000 just to keep an account open. No, no, there are. I will say that I highly recommend Relay Bank. I have a ton of clients using them. I use them within my own business. This is for the US. They get profit first. They understand they are a profit first bank. They will let you open up to 20 accounts, no fees. A couple of them can be savings accounts. And in the US, there's also, I think, Capital One, Ally Ally lets you do it. And then in Canada, Sinead, I think also credit unions. Look at credit unions, right? I think. Relay Bank, and Darlene, I can set you up because I have someone who can give you a demo so you can see how it works. Those extras joint account. Can you give me a little more information, Angela, on that? What do you mean joint account? Joint with whom, I guess, is my question.
I'm just going to share the link to Relay here.
Yeah, it's
I think Darlene was asking.
relayfi.com. Relayfi.com. If you have an account with your husband, yes. Yes. I think what happens is you'll go in and you'll open up for the business. But if you want to have accounts where your husband's on it, 1,000%. Absolutely. It's a regular bank. It's basically an online platform, and it's backed by a bank, a financial institution bank. So you've got the guaranteed deposits, the FDIC insured. It's amazing. And what they do is, as we get into this, you're going to see about transferring the money. They have developed where you can automatically transfer. So it's like you don't even have to, you set it and forget it. It's amazing. Okay. Any other questions at this point? All right. I have a question. Nina, how do I start? This is awesome. What do I do? All right, this is what we do. Number one, you're going to set up the bank accounts, okay? The first question, if you're going to do it with your current bank, the first question I would ask them is, are you familiar with the Profit First method? If they give you a look like this, might not be the best bank for you, so then we open up additional accounts maybe somewhere else, okay? Then, second step, we evaluate the way the money is flowing through our business currently. We are going to dive into this, okay? But these numbers, these are current allocation percentages. So this is basically saying how much owner's pay do you get right now? How much are you putting aside for taxes right now? How much are you spending on expenses? From there, we are going to design what our target allocation percentages are. We will cover that. Then we are going to cut unnecessary expenses. How will I know if an expense is unnecessary? Got you covered there. Okay. This in turn will lead you to improve efficiency. And that will free up cash that you can use to pay off debt, build wealth, travel, whatever you like. Can this system work on a personal level? 100%. We're going to cover that too. Okay, so I'm going to move on to some of the percentages unless anyone has a question. Okay. So, current allocation percentages. The first step is to look at your total income, and then you are going to remove anything that is associated with the products you are selling in your business. Okay? So anything, if you sell yoga mats, you're pulling out the cost of those products, the amount that you're paying for those. Anything that is cost of goods sold. And we are doing this to get our real revenue. And what do I mean by real revenue? How many times have we heard somebody runs a 6-figure business, a 7-figure business, an 8-figure business, right? They are always talking about revenue. Revenue is a vanity metric, okay? They are telling you that they are running a six-figure business, and you know what? We don't know how much they are spending to get their $6, $7, $8 million business, okay? I have seen businesses making $80,000 a year put more money in the bank than a business making $1 million a year, okay? If you have to spend $500,000, right? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If you have a $5 million business and you are bringing home your profit is 500,000, you don't have a $5 million business. You got a $500,000 business. Okay. So for us, we are going to pull out anything product related. Then what we're going to do is we are going to analyze how much are we spending on any sort of payroll, and this is everything to do with payroll. Are we putting aside any profits? Most people, when they're doing this, that number is 0. Are you paying yourself as the owner? We're going to note that. And then are you putting aside anything for taxes? And then how much are you spending on all the other operating expenses in your business? So that is your first step, to really dig in, roll your sleeves up, and categorize where your money is going now. And trust me, I have seen businesses where every penny is going to operating expenses. The next thing that we do is we look at what are those allocation percentages. What are those targets that we are trying to reach? These are the targets for the book, from the book. So basically what this is saying is that if your real revenue is $100, and you're in that 0, that first column A, you're putting $5 in your profit account, you're keeping $50, $15 goes towards tax, $30 towards your expenses. Okay. And the reason that the owner's pay is so high in that column is because usually in that stage of business, the owner is the one doing most of the work. So you're teaching the most of the classes, your admin, your marketing, your everything. Okay. Now, what has happened is since this book came out, other books have been published, Profit First 4, and they've gone into different industries. The one that's closest to our industry is there is a book, Profit First for Micro Gyms. And this is what they list, because what they did is they brought in payroll and, as we said, equipment, because I think this gentleman who wrote it, he owned a CrossFit gym. He was a partner in a CrossFit gym, so they brought in equipment on his. But because in our industry payroll is such a huge factor, that's where that extra payroll account comes from. So, and you will get this. So don't worry about taking screenshots or writing furiously or anything like that. Then you will have this in your gift. Okay, we have a couple of questions. What if you're starting off as a new business and you don't have income yet? Annette, we're going to cover that a little bit later. And the name and author of the Profit First book, it is Mike Michalowicz.
I'll grab the link to that now and share it in the chat.
If you could. And then I want to say John Briggs is the one who wrote Profit First for Micro Gyms. Okay, so we know where the money's going. We know where we want the money to go. Now we bring it together. So depending on what those target percentages look like, it'll tell us what we need to do. Okay, so for example, in this example, we weren't putting anything away for tax. Now we're going to start putting 15% away for tax. So at the bottom, all of a sudden, operating expenses, we've got to cut. Nina, we've got to cut a lot. How do I know what to cut? So what I did is I designed this so that when you're thinking of expenses, usually expenses come in the form of important and urgent. So something's either important or not important, urgent or not urgent. Okay. So for example, if you are a hot yoga studio and your HVAC goes out, it's important and it's urgent. We need to get that fixed. So in that case, we need to spend the money. Okay. If something is important, right? I'd really love this for my business, but it's not exactly urgent. That's when we budget. So that might be a new piece of equipment. Okay. If something is not important and not urgent, I am going to ask you to revisit, and we're going to go down that list of questions, but revisit why are you spending money on it? Why is it even on your list? Where I find most people get into danger is when there is a not important expense, but for some reason there's urgency. And think about like all those sales things where it's like, act now, last chance, only open to X amount, for this number of days. Okay. That's where people get into trouble. So when you are thinking of looking at the expenses in your business, are these expenses going to help bring in new customers? Will they help you generate immediate income? Okay. If you are paying any sort of setup fees or ongoing fees, always looking at that return on the investment. Does this expense keep your current clients happy? Right? Is it something, right? Is it a support like janitorial services, right? Or is it just a shiny new thing? Ooh, I'm going to get this now, right? Does it really keep your clients happy? Does it save you time that you can use to get more clients or keep your current clients happy, right? Is it absolutely necessary? Because sometimes we'll get into just spending like those recurring charges that hit our cart every single month, right? So when you see those, are they supporting a goal that you are trying to achieve, or is it simply a habit? Are you actually using it? Any questions or anything at this point? Everybody's out buying the book, and I've lost everyone again. All right, let's cover some of the benefits. Why should you do this? Okay. Basically, it is making profit a habit. We talked about this a little bit earlier. It especially if you are the type of person that if the money is there, I am going to spend it. Okay. Trust me, I live with someone who does that. If the money is in his wallet, it is gone. It is absolutely gone. Okay. This is an amazing way to sort of put those boundaries up for yourself. It helps you plan for the future. Okay. This is where it is huge for our industry because of the seasonality. So what happens is once you figure out those percentages, when you are in the months where you are doing well, you will be sucking away more cash. Okay. So let's just say for owner's comp, right? Busier time, you might be putting away more money in owner's comp, right? But if you are taking that consistent salary, in good times, you'll have money left over sitting in that account. When things are slower, that money, that extra money will be there and you'll use it to supplement because your percentage might not be as high. Okay. So it helps manage the seasonality in your business and it keeps things super organized. Super, super organized. I can tell you right now how much I spend on taxes, how much I spend in operating expenses, what my paycheck's going to be. And I know what my paycheck, I knew in April what my paycheck was going to be for the rest of the year because I was able to see that, right? And map it out. This is amazing. There's disadvantages. And sometimes this is the stuff that people don't talk about. So let's talk about it. It can be tough to implement, okay? Because all of a sudden you're going from one bank account to five. And how do I set that up? And my bank doesn't understand Profit First, and they're charging me fees. They're making me no. This is why there are banks that do understand it, and we. But there is some time in getting it set up. There is some time, right? In addition, it may be time consuming to actually implement it, right? But that's why I love Relay, because the transfers can be automatic, but there is some time that it takes to sit down and decide when you're doing your transfers. And the thing is, in the book, they recommend transfers twice a month, but I have some people who do transfers weekly. I have some people who do the twice a month, and I have some people who do it monthly. So it depends on what works for you. To me, this system is, like I said, it needs to be personalized to what works for you. Okay. What if you have high overhead costs? Okay. Well, if your profit margin is super, super tight, it may put more pressure on you to start separating money, right? So we just need to look at your business as a whole, right? And if you are carrying a lot of debt, that also is very similar. You may not have a ton of cash to play around with, but for my people who do have like EIDL loans in the States, or any sort of like credit card debt or anything like that, we do set up a debt account. And what we do is we're able to put as much as we can into that debt account, depending on the percentages that we decide. And that allows us to pay down the principal of the debt quicker, which is what is ultimately going to reduce the interest rate and get rid of that debt faster. So yeah, there are some disadvantages. Profit First will work. You can make it work. I have one client who was very hesitant to start on this, so we started with one account, and she got into the habit of transferring to that one account, and then she added the second account, but it was a while later. So if you want to start with one account, which account do you start with? I'm going to say whichever one of owner's pay, profit, taxes causes the most stress. So if you are not paying yourself, I need you to start with owner's pay. If you're not really making that profit, start with a profit account. Start by putting 1% away. 1%. 0.5%. And if you are really nervous about tax time, you start with the tax account. Oh my God, Nina, this is awesome. How do I bring it home? This is how you bring it home. Same thing, multiple bank accounts, right? You could have a travel account, right? For us, where I'm at, we get hit, our water sewer bill is once a quarter, and that is a big bill. So we have a utility account, and we're putting away the same thing every month so that when that water bill does come in, the money is sitting there. Okay. Fun account, travel account, annual expenses could be another one. I have one client, she has, for her annual expenses, she has a separate bank account. So when that, let's say for her, if she's paying insurance twice a year, it comes out of that annual expense account. So again, it's all about designing it in a way that works for you. Are there any questions? Crickets. Oh, Darlene's good so far. Thank you. Even if you tell me you don't have a question, a lot to absorb, Angela. A lot. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I don't want anyone to be overwhelmed. okay? Because number one, I'm here. You've got me. Sinead knows. If anyone has a question about anything or needs help getting set up or anything like that, you've got me, okay? It is a new way of thinking. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I will tell you that I had a studio owner totally stressed about money, totally stressed. We implemented this. She took to it, set up her accounts. She was on top of it. Okay. And this same person, when the time came, she ended up using one of her accounts because she had put the money away to buy a car. To buy a car during COVID. Okay? So picture this woman's out buying a car because of this method. Okay? It's amazing because knock wood, if God forbid something comes up and you need that emergency, that backup money, it's there. It's there. So, when should I start? As soon as we get off this webinar. Ideally, if you can, the sooner the better. The sooner the better. But again, which bank account should be your brick and mortar account? It depends. It depends on which bank you're with. If again, it goes back to that minimum balance and stuff like that. For me, I'm in the US, so my brick and mortar is Wells Fargo. And the Wells Fargo account is literally just sitting there with the minimum balance, kind of just as a backup if I need it. But what it enables me to do is if I do for some reason need to walk into a bank account, I've got the account there. Earlier this year, we needed a notary. What? Because here the notary is free if you go to the bank. Yeah, are you a client? Yep, here you go. Notarize my document, please. So, depending on what works for you, some people have that brick and mortar account, might be their income account. But I like having all my relay account, all my Profit First accounts together because then the transfers go through immediately. So if you have the brick and mortar account as an outside bank, you will have a day delay to get the money out of, let's say, your other bank to your brick and mortar bank. What's next? What's the goal? Just one goal for the next 2 weeks. I'll buy the book. I'll read the book. I will ask my bank account about opening up multiple accounts. I will reach out to Nina with additional questions. I would love for everyone in the chat, just add one tiny goal for the next 2 weeks that you will commit to. From there, I'm going to ask you to come up with a plan. When will you work on this goal? And it, again, super small, super small. Get the book, contact Relay. Annette, I have someone I can hook you up with. So absolutely. And you will be treated like gold, trust me. And then this weekend, thank you. Resources. Do you have the resources you need? I have some resources for you that I will share. But if you don't have the resources you need, please reach out to Sinead, reach out to me, please, please, please. Okay, we will get you taken care of. Because we are here for support and accountability. Okay?
Yes, we are.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. And this will change your life. Trust me. I have seen it. I have experienced it. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Yes, contact at Relay 2. Yes. So Sinead, maybe if you can get me information, I can do introductions, whatever works out best.
Yeah, if you want to share the link, I can share it in the email, in the replay email. Or yeah, what's the best way to do it? I can share
You
your
know what?
website
Yeah,
as well.
well, we'll share my email. We'll share my email, and then I can connect you with Deanna, who's awesome. She's like the best. And then because I know that it's scary. I know it's scary, especially if you're looking at a new financial institution. What am I going to do? It can be very overwhelming. I get that. But I have surrounded myself with amazing people like Eddie and Sinead and Alana at OfferingTree, like Deanna at Relay. Like, basically, if you're an a-hole, you ain't coming near me. Um, so we've got you taken care of. So I would love if I'm gonna stop sharing my screen right now, but I do want to show you some goodies. Can I share that really quick?
Yeah.
All right. So
So while you're doing that, I have just shared Nina's website in the chat, everyone. It's Tarin Financial, which is
yes, send me a note
Taryn.
through there. Send me a note through there. That's awesome. Um, and okay, so now I'm going to share this. Um, oh gosh, I'm so bad at this. Oh my God, thank you all for your patience. Okay, are we looking at the Profit First playbook?
Uh-huh.
Yay! Okay, so we've got you covered. So let me just walk you through what is in this playbook. So, as promised, so this is those allocation percentages for the fitness studios, what that slide that we shared. So these are just guidelines. Okay? Guidelines. Then I have this, so we covered this about doing our where we're spending our money currently, where we want to be spending our money. So this is just a reminder. And then I have one here for you to put together. If you don't know how to put this together, reach out to me, okay? And we'll work through it. If you're like, I don't know what goes in this category, I don't know what goes in that category, we got it. We've got it. We can definitely get that figured out. The other thing is, once you're like, you know what, Nina, I know all my percentages. I know all my percentages. Well, don't pull out your phone. You've got the allocator here. So I have a spreadsheet where you can put your different accounts at the top, right? And let's say you want to have that payroll account, you want to have whatever, and you can have this again for personal stuff too. And then you can just keep track of this would be the date so that you know. And then let's say here, if I had 50, let's just say I was doing 50%, I was doing 20%, and I was doing 20% here. So it'll tell me 100%, I'm good. And over here, I would say, okay, I have $1,000, and it'll do all the math for you, all the math for you. And then at the beginning, the first one was your checklist. So if you say, well, what did she say to do now? Okay, what do I do next? So it's all there for you. You have a checklist. And Sinead will share the links so that you guys can get that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll send that out in the replay email. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nina. I have I have a minor version of this. I have a business account and I use the savings side of it in an online bank called Manulife, which is a Canadian bank, but I think you
Yep.
can only get like one account. So I put my tax money in my savings for my business. And then I almost need the bank to be like, stop taking this money out, leave it where it is. It needs to be like, because then I'll be like, oh, I just need to borrow a little bit from that. And then tax season comes around. I'm like, oh, I never put that money back.
Well, and here's the thing is once you set this up, right, and you have, let's say, the profit account, in the book, it goes into the profit account is there to reward you. Because as we said, like you're the one putting the skin in the game. So it might be like once a quarter where you go to the profit account. They say to take out half. For me, I'm like, I've never been able to do that. But you take a little bit out of that profit account every quarter and you treat yourself. Treat yourself. You work so hard. And the thing is, if you look at me and say, but Nina, I have $40 in the profit account. Yeah, you take $20 and you know what? You go have a slice of pizza with your favorite person, you go and buy your beverage of choice. You treat yourself, right? Because you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. Um, okay, very, very, very beginning of starting out your business, you don't have that much income yet. Okay, so what I'm going to say, Darlene, is get get familiar with the concept, okay? Let's map it out now. And as you start your business, start with one account. One account. And make it the profit account. And I don't care if it is $1, because you can if you prefer, some of my people have fixed amounts too, if you don't want to do the percentages, but they've done the percentages to get the fixed amounts so they know. But $1 or 0.5% of every dollar that you bring in immediately, as soon as that income starts rolling in, and I know that income's going to start rolling in for you, you put it in the profit account right from the get-go. Create the habit now. If you are just starting your business, create the habit now. And it will add up. It will absolutely add up. Okay, good. Thank you, Darlene. Any other questions for anybody? Um, okay.
Hi, Isaac. Do you want me to read this one out? I'm
Hi,
inventor
Isaac.
of
Yeah, let's read it out.
I'm inventor of a
Tiny
yoga
yoga
product.
bag. Ooh, can't wait to see it. You
Does
have a
OfferingTree
store.
allow one to set an account in the program? An account for like a bank account, Isaac? Could you clarify on that?
Yeah.
Have a store on the internet.
Because
You
offering tree, you can absolutely have a store.
Yeah, there's an online store in the software. Isaac, I think I've seen an email of yours this morning come through to our hello@email address. So you can always send us another query there and we can answer it off the webinar. And I also wanted to address earlier on, I think Angela and Co had said issues with setting up the website or understanding the whole site and registration issues, Angela, you had said. And again, you can send a message to hello@OfferingTree. Angela, I can see that you're in our Facebook group. That's a good place to ask for help as well. And we check in on that. Or you can message us, anyone who's here, whether you're an OfferingTree user or not, can message us anytime about anything, whether it's to follow up on this webinar, to ask for another webinar, to get in touch with Nina for a question, or because you have an issue with your OfferingTree or you want to join OfferingTree. We are always available at hello@offeringtree.com. We are real life people, and you often even get a co-founder checking in and answering those emails, especially out of hours. They love to hear from our users and from our non-users. We want to have your questions. We want your feedback. We want to grow based on your needs. That's how OfferingTree has developed and become what it is. So we're always listening on that side. So I didn't want to let those two comments in the chat slip either. Does anyone else have anything for Nina? This was really, really helpful, Nina.
Oh,
And I
good.
will share all of the links.
Yes,
And that resource is incredible. Thank you for that. That's really
you're
cool.
very welcome. My goal, we are all sipping matas, running our profit first businesses, enjoying life. And it is possible. Trust me, please. I've seen it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. It's like so. It's like part of me is like it's like a little slimy. Like trust me. I sound like a used car salesman.
Angela's asking, do we bring different subjects to the webinars? We do. Our next one is actually October 1st. It's Insurance 101 for wellness businesses, and that's with Alternative Balance. After that, we have Amanda McKinney coming in November to talk, I think it's marketing. But we always want to have suggestions for webinars as well. So if you've got things that you need, we've got a huge webinar library. We want these webinars to be educational, just like
Wait,
Nina's.
wait, you missed a webinar. You're doing one.
Which one?
You're doing one with Alana, I thought I saw.
Oh yes, oh yes, we're doing one for BYoga. Oh yes, next week on using Chat GPT in your business. I think is the one on that one. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, we want these webinars to be educational. We want to hear what you want to hear about, and then we find the people like Nina, these experts, to come in and deliver it. And Darlene saying, I can't say enough good things about the customer service with OfferingTree. Thank you for bringing
Oh,
this
that's
great information.
good.
Thank you. We love hosting, Nina. What a way to make finances more relatable, Nina, and such an important topic as well.
It really is.
Um,
It really is.
and then one last question. If you have your own domain, can you use that in OfferingTree? Yes, you can. They can transfer over your domain name. When you get inside the website, there in the back end of your website, there's a space where you can look up a domain if you wanted a specific domain. But if you already own that domain, we can bring it over, and that goes through the support team requests, which is an email to
Yes,
support@offeringtree.com.
super easy to do. They help me do that.
And Annette says, thank you. This has been incredibly informative. I look forward to implementing. Yes, we would love to
Excellent.
hear how you implement it. That would be so cool.
Yes,
And if you
absolutely.
do, you can post it in the Facebook group if you do. And do follow up with Nina at Taryn Financial. I'll share all the links in the replay.
Especially if you have any questions or anything.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Nina.
you,
It's so
everyone.
good to
Thank you
see
for
you.
attending. Thank you for watching the replay if you're watching the replay.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to pause.